graphic nature of this program, listener discretion is advised.
I sense a disturbance in the force. You're listening to Two Strangers, One Podcast. Go to iTunes now and subscribe. For Android users, we are available on the Stitcher app for Google. Now go and listen. Before you get on my dark side.
I think George Lucas gonna sue somebody.
Well, hello and welcome to Two Strangers, One Podcast. I'm Chris. Unfortunately, Kristen couldn't be here. Real world always takes over podcasting time, so she had to go to work today. We're recording Comics Etc. 1115 East Main Street, downtown Rochester, New York. So you can find them at comicsetc.biz, or you can find them on Facebook at comicsetc1. We want to thank our hosts for having us here, and this is their first day actually recording in the back room. I said, who better in a comic book store? We're surrounded by superheroes, and I think this person is like a live action superhero without, the special effects of Hollywood. From the Rock City Roller Derby, Lethal Lorelei. How you doing?
Hi.
She wasn't expecting to record for a whole hour, so we can see what we can get out of her. What's the website for the Rock City Roller Derby?
It's www.rocderby.com.
Okay.
All the information's on there for all of our bouts, information on teams, who we are, what we do.
And just so for the people at home, we were neighbors at one point, and we were, I had just moved up to Rochester, and I was up here. I was living with my baby mama at the time. You were downstairs, and it was kind of cool because you had girls that you did the roller derby with come over and hang out and stuff like that. And I like girls with tattoos. I like girls that are like, they look like, I always say superheroes because that's what it always reminds me of. And, of course, just being neighborly and stuff like that, going back and forth, like, oh yeah, we do the roller derby. And I was like, oh my God. And I kick myself because I haven't been to a game yet, and it's just life. It keeps me busy. I do want to go. We have an event June 15th, and it turns out the next roller derby is June 15th.
Correct.
So people in Rochester, New York, if I know you're going to go see the roller derby, it won't hurt my feelings. Because recently, because we were friends on Facebook, did they open up an arena or something like that?
We moved. We used to play at the Dome Arena in Henrietta, but we moved now. We are the MCC Ice Complex. It's now the Bill Gray's Ice Complex. It's in like the back of MCC.
Monroe Community College.
Yes.
So it's an ice skating rink during the day?
It's really interesting. They put down these huge slabs of concrete, probably like 3 by 3 feet. And then on top of that is rat goes. We just recently bought our own track to set up.
Wow.
And so every Saturday early in the morning we set up a track, go home, change, come back.
So you guys are busting your backs even before before you even hit the track. Wow.
Yeah. No one does it for us. We don't do it all ourselves.
It's the punk rock and roll, carry your own equipment.
Exactly.
So a normal day would be getting up, I guess you would go home later on and put on the makeup and stuff like that. You kind of just, but that's gotta suck too.
It's not fun, but it's nice, because we always say that derby is for the skater, by the skater. Like we do everything. Everyone has a job. Everyone does something within the league, whether it be secretary during our meetings to I'm gonna set up the track every time, or someone does merch. Like everyone has their own job within the league. Yeah,
that is very rock and roll. Bring your friends out and. Okay, you get the table, you do this. All right, you guys are roadies. Now is that being part of MCC Monroe, is that like Rochester recognizing it, or is that because wasn't it the mayor or somebody? It was somebody of political that was. I remember you put a link on the page, and I could have sworn it was like, I don't know if it was the mayor or something like that, or I could be wrong.
I know we had Maggie. What's her name? Come to
Maggie Brooks, I think? Oh, okay.
She came to one of the bouts. That's as far political as I know. Mm-hmm. I'm unsure if I know I've talked to the mayor, and he said oh, you guys are awesome.
Representing the team.
Yeah, but in the parade or whatever, just in passing.
Oh, okay. Now, just recently, you had a Indiegogo page where you were trying to fund a trip to Germany. And now I'm surprised that it was just the plane ticket that you were ready for?
It was a plane ticket and food, basically. We ended up I was able to stay with my grandmother, and
Oh, okay.
I was going to Germany because I was going to try out for the German national roller derby team.
That's like, now I can only imagine German girl. I mean, well, I guess you're of German descent, but you know, you got the home girls, the home. That doesn't sound right.
Yeah, no, I understand what you're saying though.
The home people with the home team advantage, or very. I could only imagine like burly girls, or I guess would be the best way. But I mean, I like big girls. Don't worry.
I thought so too, but like I got there and all the girls were really athletic girls. Like they all had the raw athleticism and skill.
And now, did they was there the language barrier? I mean, or did they?
I speak German, so for me there wasn't.
Oh, okay. Wow. I see. That shows you how I'm like short-sighted American. Like, oh, you know, no. Did they speak English? No, I speak German. That's so. What was the whole process like? Did they have you like? Is it trials in the morning, or is it?
Well,
like...
what happened was we start from the beginning. Like I found out there was going to be a World Cup, and I knew there would be a huge line to try out for the American team. Like I know there's no chance for me, but I have German citizenship. So I found out I could try out for the German team, and as soon as I found out when it was, I booked a flight and tried to get over there. And I got there, and then I met up actually with the coach of the German team, and because he lives in the town my grandparents are from. So him and then two other girls, we met and we drove out to Stuttgart, and tryouts started early Saturday morning, and we started with like agility and skills and skate backwards and skate through, obstacles. And then we started doing hitting, and then we started doing pack work. And then at around like 1:30, we had lunch, and they pulled us in one by one to tell us if we'd made it or not.
Wow.
It's pretty
It's gotta be
intimidating.
nerve-wracking.
There's 18 of us, and I walk into the room, and the coach and the co-captain guy, they sat me down, and they're like, "Well, what do you think?" And I was like, well, if you're looking for a girl that can, do little twirls and look good on skates, that's not me. But if you're looking for someone that knows how to play roller derby and knows the, strategy, that's me. And they both said, we fully agree. Welcome to the team.
Awesome.
Yeah. So out of 18 girls, I think 4 made it officially, and another 6 were alternates.
And part of the Indiegogo was the reward was a high five for $5.
Yes.
And so I gave 10, but I'm here to collect my high five. There we go. There we go. Our contract is now legally sealed. So that was the World Cup. Are you going to be like staying there, or?
Well, the World Cup, we are unsure where it is. It could be here in Rochester, or it could be in Australia. So we won't know until next year sometime where I'm going to have to go for it.
Wow.
But I do go back in November for a game against another team, which we don't know which team it is yet, but it'll be another national team. I'm really hoping it'll be London, or I'm sorry, England. It's just 90% London girls, but because I think they're really tough, and I think that's what the German girls need, is to really, see. I mean, all of them were like shaking in their boots when I said England, but I was like, this is good. That's how you learn, is from, defeats like that, I believe. So I think it'll be really cool to play England.
I'm a wrestling fan. I used to watch, there was a reality show called Tough Enough, where there were these guys, and one of the first things they teach you is to quote unquote take a bump, learning how to land so you don't hurt yourself. And you had made a post about that the drills, like I guess it's learning how to land while you're rolling and stuff like that. Well,
the first thing we teach our new is how to fall. We don't take bumps,
because
I get the comparison, but in wrestling it's like, oh, you get hit, you fall like this. In derby, you don't know how you're going to get hit.
Oh yeah.
So we teach you a couple of basic things: how to fall, how to protect yourself when you fall. But we also wear protective gear. We have knee pads, wrist guards, elbow pads, mouth guard, helmet. I think I got all that. And mouth
nothing
guard,
for the tushy.
Some girls do wear butt pads, but I mean, I never liked how they looked, so I never did. I have enough cushion. I don't need extra.
The dunk.
So
And yeah, the wrist guards I think would be the ones that I would absolutely require, because I do not. I could only imagine if I fell on my wrists, I would cry and break down. I hurt my wrist.
I've seen a couple wrist breaks. Yeah.
Oh, jeez. I guess because there's no health insurance. There's no.
It's required that you have health insurance in order to join Derby.
Oh, wow. Okay. I see. I'm learning something every day. Now it could be. Do they offer one, or just through work or something like that?
Well, there is one, but you have to have your own as well, because the one that's through the league, it's just kind of like, the deductible's like $2,000 something, it's just that the league's protection basically, but you have to have your own in order to skate.
Okay.
Comes in handy, everyone. We don't tell the new girls it's not if you get hurt, it's when, because it's such a rough sport.
I can only imagine. Yeah, this is kind of now, just for the sake, and like we were talking before the episode, I said you probably went through this 1,000 times, but for the people that are new, because I know there's a blocker or something. I'm still trying to learn it myself.
Yeah. What is Derby basically?
What is Derby? Like, kind of give us a rundown of like how the team breaks down, and I know they have to do when they make a lap or something like that. And I'm sorry for...
That's okay. Well, you have two teams. It is a flat oval track. And you have two teams that go against each other. At one point in time, there are 4 girls from each team that are the blockers, and they create what's called a pack. One girl from each team is the jammer, and they are the ones that score points. So the whole game itself is split up into little sections called jams. So you have a jammer, and then you have jams. The word jam gets thrown around a lot. But the whistle blows, and the jammers try to get through the pack. This is the only team sport where you play offense and defense at the same time. So I'm trying to block their jammer while getting my jammer through.
Okay.
So the first time through, they don't get any points. They just establish what's called lead jam, which is the ability to stop that little section that I said earlier. That's called jam. So they get through, and then on the second pass through, for every girl of the opposite team they pass, they get a point. So they can get up to 4 points, 5 if they lap the other jammer. It's the short version, I guess.
This is would a person who's typically a jammer be like I would assume the other people in the pack kind of like protect them. Is the jammer kind of like the more like speedier?
It's usually the tinier girls, the quicker, very agile. Like, I jammed my first year, but that was 7 years ago, and then jammers have evolved so much I could never see myself jamming again, because I've just become a blocker.
And so I'd probably, if I was in something like that, I'd probably be a blocker. And I was having a conversation with a friend of mine. Our brothers Live and Lame. There's a podcast, Live and Lame Podcast Entertainment on the West Coast. They do a show. They've started the show called Down in Derby, where they do a show with the Red Bluff Roller Girls. Now he's about 10 years younger than me, so he doesn't remember there was a show growing up called Roller Games. Do you remember that at all? Or
I don't personally remember it, but I know that I've been talked to about it. Like, the old generations would come up and be like, "Oh, I remember I used to watch roller derby wrestling on Saturday mornings." But it's a different type of derby.
Yeah, no, that was more flair and scripted, and
exactly.
And I respect the real deal. I mean, I say wrestling only because I like the flair. I like the drama. It's a guy's soap opera for all intents and purposes. But you guys are like rock stars, where you have your names, and I mean, most of you are tatted out. What's the process like? Do you pick your own nickname? Do the girls pick a nickname for you? Is it
a lot of times you pick your own? Mine's kind of boring compared to some of the ones we have out there. We have a Harriet Beat Your Ass on the team. One of my favorite ones back in Buffalo, when I skated out in Buffalo, there was a really short girl, and she had red hair, but she went by Little Orphan Angry. Just really awesome names. Sometimes you're given a name when you do boot camp. Like, the new girls go through what's called boot camp, which is 4 weeks, or it's 4 Saturday or Sunday nights of basic falls, what is derby, what you're getting into. Do you really want to do this? There's a girl who became our all-star jammer. She was so good, but she was killed on impact. But she wore a blue helmet for her boot camp days, and everyone called her Blue Helmet. And so her nickname was actually Blue. Like, no one really called her Keld. We all named her Blue. So it really depends on the situation.
Yeah, a flat track. That's what I was going to ask about, because there are ones that are kind of like ones that are like raised on the outside.
That's like the old style derby. There are a few bank tracks left in the United States. I want to say like 4 or 5 maybe. And there are still girls playing bank track, but I do believe that they're still kind of gearing towards that whole, kind of WWE type of roller derby.
Oh, okay.
That's where flat track came from, was that there was girls that were trying to legitimize the sport, and that's what became flat track, and the other girls stayed with bank track.
Oh, okay. So there are bank tracks, but they're already
Correct.
They're not around anymore. Okay. Now I can only imagine a party after a game.
We like to party after, an awesome game. What's great about it is that both teams get together, like 99% of the time, we get along with all the girls right after the game. We all drink together, buy each other drinks, that was a good hit you had on me, stuff like that. So, and then we also have this thing called winning the after party, which is like which team can stay longer. But so
the closest thing that I could count it to is like being a metalhead. I like jumping in the mosh pit, and in a decent mosh pit, the moment you fall down, there's 10 hands picking you up. I find myself like at the end of the show. I mean, if it's a good mosh pit, you're giving a guy a hug. Oh, I love you, man. Where it's you kind of go through this experience together, and it is bonding, even though you are getting out your aggressions and beating the hell out of each other. And so that's like I always, because there are the nasty mosh pits where there's the drunk guy and the guy with whoever takes their shirt off, we got to stay away from that guy because that means he's trouble. There's always the kids doing their karate kicks and stuff like that, and
hate that.
So that's when you're in a good mosh pit, it kind of like it's a camaraderie kind of a thing. So
well, I can tell you one thing: no one will help you back up on the track, but afterwards there are hugs. So.
But not even your own teammates, or
I mean,
or just
it's very rare that you help each other up, like literally. But
okay.
But you're there, the camaraderie that's on the track within your teammates while playing, like this, the strategies and stuff that you do together, like that's very strong. It's. Before I joined Derby, like I barely had any girlfriends, and now I have 60. So it's great, like just great women.
You said before the track was a hockey rink, or during other times it's the arena that they're opening at MCC.
Yeah.
Are you do you play hockey? Because I would just think checking people and being kind of on skates. I would think that would kind of be like a natural.
We have
ally.
We have one girl that was a hockey player. I don't know any of the girls that have left to go play hockey.
Yeah, well, being a blocker, just being like the goon, where you just like knock people over, like you don't even hit the puck, you just kind of.
Yeah, that's probably would be my problem, is I wouldn't concentrate on the puck at all. I tried ice skating the other day, like my derby wife Karma and we went out ice skating, and it did not go well. It is not the same. Like we really miss there's a lot more control with roller skates because you're able to stop. And, we do a lot of footwork where we're pretty much stopped on the track. You can't do that on ice skates.
And that's caramelized.
Yes.
I love that name. Is her like name Liz or something like that? Or just,
no, it's not at all. I mean, she actually wanted to just be Karma, but someone else already had the name Karma.
Oh, okay.
So she picked the full name Caramelized, but no one calls her that.
Oh, okay.
It's everyone, even on her jersey, it says Karma.
Yeah. And I remember she was wearing a shirt that said "Karma's a bitch," so
yeah, that's
so
her.
I can't say it. I was just reading her shirt. Karma's a bitch. Now, us being here in a comic book store, have you ever dabbled in comics, or is
a
that
little
ever?
bit? Tank Girl being my favorite.
Oh, okay, that's right. Yeah, the punk rock.
Yeah.
Also, I remember, we'd once again being neighbors, but we'd also cross paths going to see bands and stuff like that in the Water Street Music Hall. Metalhead, punk rock, hard rock. Is there?
I love me some metal shows. Yeah, we're at the Finger Lakes Metal Festival this weekend with a couple of friends. That was pretty awesome.
Oh, okay. So Pat, damn, I missed it. I haven't had a chance to go to like. I mean, I've seen like local guys, but I haven't been to like the last concert I went to was the big four: Metallica, Slayer, Anthrax, and Megadeth at Yankee Stadium, and that was what 3 years ago. I mean, I go to local. I mean, the local guys. There's a band named Springer. The Heaviest Thing, I think, was the show that we had crossed paths. Yeah, they don't do it anymore.
Even Hate Machine's done now too. Jed's other band. Yeah, it's like so sad to see everyone go.
Yeah. So tattoos. You collect tattoos, I guess, would be the best way. I mean, people. That's always a icebreaker for me. Everyone's where do you get your tattoos? What is this? What is that? Do you have like, because I see like you have the Goblin King. What else we got there?
It's this is actually my sleeve is
it's
Never Ending Story, Labyrinth, Dark Crystal, and Legend. Because
Oh
I'm
my
kind of
God.
a Jim Henson fanatic with those movies. It's my childhood, I call it. It's not done yet. We're still working on it.
Wow, and oh my goodness, I can't believe I forgot the dog's name.
Falcor.
Falcor. You got a big Falcor, Goblin King. That is
Ludo. Some goblins. This is Darkness
from the
from
Legend.
and then I have Fizzgig from Dark Crystal. So
how many tattoos you got, dude? Have you lost count? Or?
I stopped counting when they started touching.
It all kind of just goes.
Yeah. Big one.
I'm at 13, so I don't know. Like I want to get one more. I want to get more, but I'm like, I think 13 is a good.
13 is a good number.
Yeah, I'm gonna hold on to that for a little while. But I mean, we were talking about they're gonna bring food trucks to Rochester. That we're kind of like we touched upon that the last episode.
Food trucks, like.
Yeah, the Rochester is gonna have basically it's like a mobile kitchen on the back of a. Like it looks almost like an ice cream truck, I guess.
The little poutine or whatever.
Yeah, petite poutine and stuff like that. They were kind of like the ones like leading the pack, but they want to bring. And that's like $700 a month. You set it up, and like I'm jazzed about that. Like the last thing I need to do is eat some more, but I'm kind of. But that would be smart. Like you have an event outside the roller derby, outside our event, Stranger Con. I guess actually that'd be. I got to get some guys online. And actually, I was on Craigslist a while back, about 2-3 weeks ago, and there was a guy looking to. He wanted to get like a mac and cheese. He wanted a cool graffiti style box of macaroni and cheese, so he could put it on his truck. And then he says they're doing a food truck mac and cheese.
I think I saw a mac and cheese one outside my house. Our neighbors. It was parked in my neighbor's driveway. I don't know if that was the same guy.
Because I was kind of just looking up gigs online and artwork and stuff like that. So I was like, because I didn't get what he wanted first. Then he was like, no, then he explained it. And I'm like, oh, okay. I'm sorry. I wish I could help you. All right. So tell us about the game that's coming up June 15th. What's going on there?
We will be playing on June 15th. Both our A team and our B team is playing, and we're both playing the Hudson Valley Horrors from down near New York. So that'll be fun. It's a grudge match. We've played them before. Mm-hmm. So
a little bad blood there?
Yeah, before, so we're hoping to do it again. Mm-hmm. So the game is June 15th at the MCC Ice Complex. The doors are at 5, and the first whistle's at 6, and the A team is actually playing first this time, so that's really awesome because I'll get to sit and drink while the B team plays after, because usually the B team goes first, and we're all like sitting there waiting nervously.
Oh, you can't get drunk before a game?
No drinking on wheels.
Do you know how much are the tickets, or?
You can get them online at www.rocderby.com, and I believe they are $10 for general seating and $12 $12 at the door. But I can look it up real quick, and I think there's also something called the suicide seats, which is the first row of seats. Those are $20, but you're pretty much almost guaranteed a girl in your lap at the end.
Oh, okay.
You might hit a girl into you, so
for the real hardcore fans that
correct.
Get the blood and sweat on you. You got the suicide seats right up front. Well, that sounds awesome. We want to thank everyone for checking out Two Strangers One Podcast. You can find us at twostrangersonepodcast.com. You can subscribe to us on iTunes for Android devices. We're on the Stitcher app, STITCHER. We're also on Facebook.com, Facebook/Two Strangers One Podcast. Obviously, all just spelled out. Don't forget to please check out our page. We have our own Indiegogo thing going on right now. I think the video alone, the last minute and a half, if that doesn't make you laugh, then if it makes you laugh, you give us $10. If it doesn't make you laugh, give us $20, so we can be more funny. And so we want to thank everyone. We certainly hope you enjoyed listening and had as much fun as we did recording. Thank you for listening to Two Strangers One Podcast. I'm Chris.
I'm Lorelei.
Don't be a stranger. Bye.